Jude,
Yes.
we're live.
Hi, Mark.
How are you, mate? Thank you for coming live with us today. Jude been years in business in the reception business. He owned it. He owns three major reception centers around Victoria. One in Wantuna South, one in Mulgrave, and the new one is Lincoln. The Rolls Royce of reception centers. Jude, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and then your businesses?
Yes, indeed, Mark. Well, I'm an engineer by profession to start off with. I'm not in hospitality, but I love what I do. So I came across the first venue 15 years ago, which was the Grand on Cathy's in Wantuna South. And then we evolved since then into the Grand on Princess in Mulgrave, and a recent acquisition, the Lincoln of Toorak in Toorak. Having said that, we've done a lot of things we've got a great team to start off with. You're only as good as your team to start with. We do a lot of functions with the schools. We do 106 schools, roughly, which is about 200 plus events with just the school market in Melbourne, which are debutantes, formals, graduations, etc. And then we also have a wedding market, which is, pretty much any community in Melbourne, which is, and that's what we used to do until the 7th of March, when everything had to come to a standstill.
That's crazy. So I could imagine, the size of the crisis that you experienced back then is phenomenal. So what did you end up doing? I know a lot of reception owners, they just went home. They closed the doors and went home. And then I would like to share something before you continue is somehow you need to figure out a way to keep people buying from your business. Otherwise, if considering COVID-19 will take a while for us to overcome it, it'll be very hard to bring back people back in and them remember your business, remember to buy from you, remember to support you. So it's very important to be active right now today. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? What did you do?
Okay, firstly, we had two venues completely booked out, the Grand on Cathy's and the Grand on Princess in Mulgrave, for the next 18 months. The Lincoln of Toorak, in a recent acquisition, we had it at about 60% capacity. So the first thing we did was to categorize all our clients into A, B, C, D, and that was because predominantly our functions are with events with schools, having the duty of care and so forth, we gave them priority in rescheduling their events. We took some of the dinner dances that we used to have, the social gatherings, which is the mindset. Whenever we come out of it, they're not going to be in the right mindset to execute functions. So what we did was we put them on hold, and we asked them we locked in the prices for this year, for next year as well, and gave them dates for next year, giving room for dates for this year whenever the schools and the weddings come back on again. So category A was our events with schools, and category B was weddings, because they're ready to go whenever the government says that we're good to open up again. So number one is that, yes, we had a cash flow mapped out for the year in March, and it all came to a standstill. And we had a great following, an organic following, to be honest with you, with over 100,000 people coming through our doors every year. And what we decided to do was to capture that market again. So I put my hand out and said, listen, whatever we do, we got to be good at it. That's the trick to reinventing yourself. So I've been looking up on social media, and thank the Lord that I came across a gentleman called Mark Coda. And I asked him for help, and we had the opportunity of having a chat. And so my whole idea was to keep my team together. And all we have is 11 full-time staff and 90 casual staff. But what I wanted to do was to keep the 11 full-time staff together whenever we decide to reopen, whenever the government decides to reopen, that we are still together. So the only way I could do that is to keep them at our venues and our team. So what we decided to do was do bottle
The takeout business.
takeout business. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. We're also looking at other things that would probably use our assets and re-looking at what we can do with it. But at this point in time, it's takeout, so that people are bringing the grand to home, because at the end of the day, people have to eat, and we'd love to give our amazing chefs a go with regards to offering the great food that we offer to people's homes. So that's what we reinvented ourselves with. So we started with the grand on Kathy's 4 weeks ago now, Mark. You just helped us launch the Mulgrave venue just today. So and we're going to see how that goes. So idea is, it takes time, but it takes commitment.
That's right.
And as Mark, as you know, you can't clap with one hand, and you're only as good as your team. And having you aboard, Mark, is being a blessing.
Thank you, Jude. I appreciate it. We love clients like yourself too. On top of that game, they get it done. There's no joking, mocking around. We just get out there and make things done. Jude, why we're running from 2 locations instead of 1?
Well, we have the resources to. Well, firstly, it's important to get the right product out there. So we mastered that at the Grand on Kathy's in Wantirna South. So it took us about 3 to 4 weeks, because doing takeout is a totally different business. We used to do 3,000-4,000 meals a week, and now we're doing, not even a fraction, but a decimal point of what we used to do. Getting yourself organized and be proud of the product that you're going to put out there, and getting some feedback from the clients was the way to go. So we mastered that aspect of it for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and then we were ready to come up with another Mulgrave, and then you've got another reach out here too. So Mulgrave being a more in a public area as opposed to the Kathy's Lane venue. It's more residential. It's got more organizations that are still in business. So we're hoping that we can get into another market segment, so to speak.
That's right. I would like to add to this is, if you've got the resources and the locations to test your concepts and what you're trying to offer, it's a blessing, because you've got more space, more resources to test, to put out there your concepts, and you're not just locked in with one location. And the other thing that I really like about your concept, you did not come to the market with just one concept and saying, look, this is what we're doing, and this is the menu, and that's what it is. You've got the the international menu, international concept, ethnic concept, and the weekend specials. And I personally believe it's a wonderful way to come in and test stuff, because you know what, 4 weeks from now you can come back with data and you can say, the international business is doing very well for us. We don't really care about the ethnic business anymore, or the ethnic business is doing very well for us. We don't care about the international concept anymore. But in terms of specials and keep people excited about what are you bringing on, or the mud crab, Mother's Day, the ribs, all of that stuff. I really, really love this work, Jude, and I hope to see more out of it now, and I'm sure we will. Thank
you, Mark. Well, Melbourne's got such a diverse ethnic background that you have to try a few different things and see which one sticks. There's no map no roadmap as such that works. So what we've done is we've tried, we bought the Lincoln chefs. They're award-winning chefs, so we brought them into the grand venues and doing the gourmet menus, so to speak. And then we got the Sri Lankan chefs doing the Sri Lankan menus. And of course, the ribs have been a real hit. The beef and pork ribs and the mud crab offers and so forth and so forth. It's seeing traction, and what I'm finding is that the ribs had some great reviews, a great following for it. So what we decided to do is keep it every weekend. It seems to work. We never used to have ribs on our menus at the Grand before, but we thought we'll try something new, something unique, something that you can't cook at home. right? But you can still have those flavors that you used to go to a restaurant to enjoy. So mud crab, something which is for Mother's Day. We all have mums and we want to treat our mums, and that's what it's all about, giving them something to experience. It's just not about the food, it's about the experience and the flavors, and making sure that our chefs can give you that experience, which is more important than putting out. Exactly, absolutely, Mark. So,
love it.
Yeah.
How do you currently promote and advertise what you're executing at your venues?
Mark, that's a tricky one, in the sense that I'm an introvert usually on my day-to-day basis, but however, I've decided to put some video clips of what our specials are for the week, for example. For example, it could be the beef and pork ribs, it could be the mud crabs, it could be lamb shanks, it could be the gnocchi. And what we do is I come out there. I'm not a great public speaker, to be honest with you, but I can do a one-to-one. And what I decided to do was just get one of my staff to use his iPhone and record the specials for the week. And it seems to get amazing traction. Just them putting a menu out there, when you have not a live feed, sorry, but just a video clip, and put it out there on Facebook. It seems to really work. It seems to get some people really interested. And when you get reviews saying that, oh, your ribs are fantastic, and they post it on Facebook and so forth, next week you intend doubling the order. And then we've got some great staff. We've got Clara, and what she does is on a Wednesday she would send out the specials for the week, right? And we have a database that we're creating now, right, for takeout menus or takeaway menus. So it's always trying to do something different. Not everything works, but whatever works, we try to keep it. That's the trick to it. Yeah. That's
right. So this is what I love about you. You have us helping you out with advertising and marketing and ideas and collaboration, all of that. But you're not just handing it to someone, say that's it. I have nothing to do with it. You go on your personal profile, you put the videos up, you make those videos on ongoing basis, you talk about your offering, and you're helping out, and this is what I really, really love about you, and not only that, you're part of Facebook groups, local Facebook groups. I'm pretty sure every single man and woman in the area know about Jude by now.
It's not a great face, only a mum could love, but at the end of the day, I want my message out there,
Right.
At this time, we got to do things differently. It can't be in our comfort zone at this stage. Let's put it this way. I was blessed in going after whatever I wanted and getting it. And this time I had to relook at what is important. What people say, you got to make sure that whatever you want, you make sure that you give it 1,000%. And whatever you do, that's what I do with everything in your life. So what I always tell my staff is that let me get this right. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So whatever you do with purpose. You look at what the future has to hold, because when COVID is all done and dusted, hopefully sooner than later, we can continue with these options. So we're looking at reinventing ourselves all the time. It's another revenue stream. So whatever we do now, we master it. That's right. What it's all about.
That's right. And this is absolutely golden. Jude, before we wrap it up, what is the last advice or another advice that you would like to share before we finish off this Facebook Live?
Well, if I can say one thing, is that whatever the government of Australia has done amazing job with keeping JobKeeper on and so forth. You got to remember one thing is that you run your own business. The government doesn't. So what is important for you to do is to do whatever it takes for your own business. Don't cave in. Whatever the government does. But I need anyone out there who I could, is to do whatever it is for your business to stay afloat, right? And don't settle for whatever the news is all about. I don't put the news on anymore, to be honest with you, right? Because there's nothing good out there. But
That's right.
I just rather focus on my business and what can I think of? What do I want to do? For example, I'll give you one small idea, which is outside the food aspect of it. We've got 500 car spaces between two out of the three venues. So what I've done is I've gone and spoken to the Hertz, the Thrifties and so forth, and said, listen, I'm sure that you guys are hurting. I've got 500 car spots. Would you be interested in parking your cars at my venues? Something like that. I'm just think outside the square. Whatever your business is, make sure that you get the best out of it. So the government is good at what they do, but we know our business more than anyone else.
And then you gotta take control or lose control. That's what I call it.
Lose control is something that is for I've worked too hard for the last 15 years, Mark, to let it go now.
That's right.
Whatever it takes to keep this business alive.
That's right.
And not let it go for no matter what. COVID.
You've done a very good job already, mate. You've done a very good job. So I salute you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for your encouragement, and you've been a blessing. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Jude. Thank you very much for being on the call.
Thank you, Mark. God bless. Take care.